Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike. It is Thursday, the 3rd of April. This is your daily recap. It's been a very long day for us here in the room and all of us. So let's talk. We signed off last night after the 10% announcement, thought all was good, and obviously that was incorrect. As we had more tariffs come out, we had a big drop overnight, and we opened up just above the overnight lows on the SPY, popped for the first 5 minutes. That was the high of the day and rolled over, came up a little bit, then rolled over again during margin calls. And here we are putting a low of the day in it, the 530, the 538 area. All right. What's this all mean? Well, we have a nice big gap here to trade against now. We came down to that 540 support area and we broke below it. And, where do we watch now? Well, we go to our left. You have a little gap here at 536.21. That comes down into the 530, 33.50 area, give or take. I'll give you an exact number there. 533.27. And you have another, come down here. There's not a lot of great support here, maybe some more at the 530 area. For those thinking about where do we enter a bear market on the S&P 500, it's all the way down here at 490.58. So we have a ways to go. But at this point, we're down about 12%, maybe, 12% or so off of the all-time high. Today is a pretty big gap down. We're way out of the Bollinger Bands and we are way below the 8-day here. Tough to keep shorting, but the market, selling volume today with 20 minutes to go. We're already at 89 million shares, but it was much heavier early on. We dropped off. We didn't get a lot of consistent selling here. So, for what it's worth, there was not a huge amount of pressure. So where do we go from here? If we want to bounce, the 8-day is way up here at 558. So you got 20 handles. That's a long way to be off the 8-day, just as an FYI. Going into this weekend, and tomorrow we have non-farm payroll at 8:30. We'll open up the room early. We have Powell speaking at 11:25 time frame. And, we haven't gotten any of the world's reaction to this. We're also potentially going to get some news on a TikTok sale tomorrow, as we just talked about in the room. That's a great post there by Silver. It's possible China will agree to the sale in order to get the tariffs taken out. That would be a huge win for China to get those 34% taken away. All right, let's go to the Qs. The Qs are down about 15% now off the highs. And again, you're looking at this, not a lot of places here to go. You're into some support here, small support around this 451 area, and then we'll see. The IWM, I mean, I can't imagine wanting to own the IWM and small caps here getting killed. The Dow held in a little bit better. It's barely below the recent lows. The banks today down, although still holding well above the recent lows. That 200-day at 47 gets interesting. Banks start reporting next Friday. Energy is getting killed. You have a massive, nasty candle at energy. We have a couple of things going against crude here. Crude's getting killed. Why is crude getting killed? One, OPEC Plus has agreed to a bigger than expected raise. Two, you have if the global economy is slowing down or heading towards a recession, that's not good for oil, good for companies, not good for oil. And three, Chris pointed this out, is that crude is all bought using the dollar, and the dollar is getting absolutely destroyed, right? The dollar here today, off the lows, but beaten up. Bonds remain very strong, breaking out, rates coming down. And the VIX just cracked 29 and almost back to where we were. A big move on the VIX. It took a long time for this to really get going. So what was good today? Costco, nice move up. Walmart. So obviously they're not overly concerned about tariffs too much if these are bouncing. We saw people going back into, thank you, come back to that. We saw people going back into safety names. Coke, nice highs here. Pepsi, CL, UNH, all these have a big divvy in common. Tesla traded that a couple times today. An inside day showing a lot of relative strength here in this market. Microsoft was strong off the lows, almost went, got back to yesterday's lows. Uh, Netflix went green for a while today. Some strength there. What wasn't good? The semis getting absolutely smacked down to 196. Nvidia 102. AMD, which has been holding that 95 level down under 94 here, so they're getting absolutely killed. Apple, who is in the eye of the storm for this, is getting destroyed. Look at this move from 225 area down to 200 today. Why 201? Why? Because they are set to take it on the chin worse than others. they've been diversifying their supply chains into the countries that Trump just hit with big tariffs. So, they're gonna have to figure that out. They have a lot of figuring out to do. What else, guys? Should we look at Palantir held in well today? There was some strength there. Holding that 100-day continues to hold well. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what do you want to own and where do you want to go from here? Right now, the markets are in a correction. Could we end up in a bear market? We could. The IWM hit a bear market today, is now in a bear market. Bottom line is I wasn't doing any buying today. A couple people asked me to, some people who I help out with their 401ks, like I want to go buy. I'm like, I would hold off another day or two, see what we had. I had a couple nice trades on Tesla. I traded the VXX a couple times and took a nice little loss, small little loss on TQQQ today, trying to take a bounce here on it. Bottom line is less is more. Trade what you're comfortable with. Wait for the pitch. The further down we get, the more of an oversold bounce we're going to get. The one thing I'll point out here is the oscillators are just not there. You're looking for negative 200 plus, and you can see we're negative 59 on the New York Stock Exchange, negative 130 on the Nasdaq. We're not there. These are not the type of numbers that we usually look for a big bounce off of. Hope you're all doing well. Catch you live in the morning. If anybody wants to talk, please reach out.